Womanjika everyone, Womanjika meaning welcome. My name is Auntie Julianne and I'm an elder of the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung people, and in recognition of doing my welcome to country, I'd like to pay my respects to my elders past, present, future and any elders that were here today, and I would also like to welcome you all here today. The Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung tribe consists of three families, the Nevins, the Terricks and the Wandans, and I'm part of the Nevin family. The three families all descend from one woman called Annie Bharat, which makes us one big family. Annie Bharat is the youngest sister of William Barrett, a pioneer for Aboriginal people in the 19th century, fighting for equality and land rights. I'm here today to welcome you all to the land of my ancestors. We call the land within our tribal boundaries our country. The Kulin Nation, Kulin meaning man, is made up of 5 groups. They are the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung, Boonwurrung, Tanarong, Wathaurong and Dja Dja Wurrung. And to give you an outline of the Wurundjeri country and the area we cover, Wurundjeri country extends from north to the Great Dividing Range, east to Mount Baw Baw, south to the Morley Creek and west to the Werribee River. We cover a diverse range of land from the mountains to the beach and everything in between. Many thousands of years ago, if an Aboriginal person from another tribe wanted to cross our boundary, they would have to sit at the boundary and wait for the Narragadah, which is the headman, or an elder to come past to give permission to cross. Traditional Aboriginal culture was highly territorial, and visitors risked a violent reprisal for crossing a tribal or clan boundary without this permission, and this is how a welcome to country originated in our culture. Traditionally, being welcomed onto country meant you respected Bunjil's law. Bunjil, the wedge-tailed eagle, is our creator, and Wah, the crow, is our protector. And as long as you looked after the country, you had access to our waterways and our land resources. And when you enter our country, we ask that you respect our resources, our fauna, flora and water, as they are very special to us. And when you are ready to leave, we ask that you leave it the way you found it.
We have lots of council services that support our community. We support families with children, including health services for children and mums, vaccinations, playgroups, childcare, and kinder. We support young people in our community. Through events and activities, we have services that can support people with disability, older people, and carers and family of people with disability and older people. Our libraries support everyone in our community, help people learn new things, and are free to join. We support our community to have fun and be active through events and activities, sport, and recreation areas. We help look after our places and spaces, the environment, and local businesses. We have laws to keep people safe, to make sure buildings are safe, to make sure roads and footpaths are safe, to make sure our places and spaces are safe. We make sure everyone follows the law to keep our community safe and happy. Moonee Valley. It's a great place to live, work, and visit.
Welcome to the Council meeting. I'm Councillor Piers Tyson, Mayor of Moonee Valley City Council. We aim to get started every second Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. However, sometimes there are some delays behind the scenes that we need to work through, and we appreciate your patience. You can have a look at our agenda online for all the issues that we'll be talking about tonight, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks. So every second Tuesday we work through our council agenda, and what that means is working through things from procedural, day-to-day issues, financial reports, all the way up to
Mine is. Hello. Mine is.
Welcome everybody to the public forum for the 18th of June 2024. On behalf of Moonee Valley City Council, I respectfully acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet, the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to elders, spirits, community members past and present. I also like to extend this respect to other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today. Tonight's public forum will be live streamed on our website, and I warmly welcome those in the gallery and those watching online as well. Apologies for our restart of this public forum. We've had issues with our microphones, hence why I'm using this at the moment. So that was a slight delay with that. I also note our Mayor, Councillor Tyson, is an apology this evening, and Councillor Bettio may or may not be joining us. He's running a little bit late. So the public forum provides residents with an opportunity to present to council topics of interests and allows for further discussion, which is not possible at a formal council meeting. So tonight we've received one submission, and I'd like to invite Sean Nielsen to make a presentation regarding dog on-lead areas and times. So thank you, Sean. If you'd like to come up, you have about 3 minutes or so, if that's okay.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, and thank you, councillors, for the opportunity to speak. I feel quite privileged being the only one here tonight. What I'll speak to tonight relates to a petition that I referred to the last council meeting, which I understand was noted and has been referred to the Chief Executive Officer for investigation. So it is really about an issue of shared spaces for dog owners and non-dog owners. I live in Essendon, which I'll talk a little bit more about as we go through. Can I move my slides, or does that, you'll do it, Daria? Next slide, please. That's my dog, Misso. I'm, like probably some of you, a dog owner. I realised as I was driving here, I probably shouldn't have had a photo of her sitting on a park bench. That's in Marybeck, not Moonee Valley, just so you know. Next slide, please. I'm also a father of a young child, so I understand, and that's my daughter reading my dog the local law around dogs on lead and off lead, just so we're emphasising we're responsible dog owners. But I mention my family situation because I know it's difficult for councillors to manage the use of public spaces and trying to manage the needs of dog owners and people that are not dog people and maybe have some fear and trepidation around dogs. We've been there ourselves, you know, being in a park and seeing a boisterous dog come and knock our daughter over and almost knock me over, and we know that that's not a pleasant experience, and that's often why we've ended up with situations of dog on lead areas and dog off lead areas and designated dog parks, for which there's definitely a role. Thanks, Daria, for moving me along. So I live in Essendon and Schofield Street, just off Glass Street there. And one of the reasons we love that area is because of its access to great quality open space, right? Great places for us to enjoy with our families and with our pets, like many others that live in the area. What I've highlighted there in red, though, is the various parks that are in pretty close proximity to where we live. All the ones in red are restricted and are dog on-lead areas. And those parks have a variety of usages. You know, many of them have playgrounds, many of them are used by families and others. Others are not, and I haven't highlighted, I don't even know what it's called, but the little easement that runs from Woodland Road up all the way to the actual designated dog park, which is the one in green at the top of the map. What I'm illustrating there is that for people like me and people that are dog owners to exercise our dogs off-lead, there's really only that one space at the top of the area that we live in. That's a small area of Moonee Valley, obviously, but I'll talk to why I think that's a bit of a concern in a moment. But just for context, we try and use many of those spaces. We love being able to walk to them, to enjoy for ourselves and catch up with friends and enjoy with our pets. What I guess I'm looking to council for is to manage this issue of dogs and people sharing spaces in a little bit more of a balanced and nuanced way, in accord with a few principles which I'll just lay out now. So principles, we, and when I say we, I mean everyone, but in this case dog people, we want to be able to walk to places, and pleased to see that that's a principle of MV 2040 and indeed broader strategic direction of council. We want to be able to walk to the things that we need. And for me, I think that includes to be able to walk to places to exercise our dogs. We know that not everyone's a dog person, and that's fine, and we need to try and find a balanced way for dog owners or dog people and non-dog people to share spaces responsibly. We know that dogs need vigorous exercise, and I could tell some stories of people that I see quite regularly who have dogs who have mobility issues, are elderly, cannot vigorously walk their dogs on lead and require or rely on their dogs being off lead, chasing a ball, interacting with other dogs to get that exercise that the dog needs and the social interaction that they need. We know that there are a real place for dog parks, and Moonee Valley's privileged, I think, to have 4 designated dog off-lead parks. I might have that wrong. I got informed of that from the officers recently. But if any of you are dog owners, you'll know that dog parks are also not for everyone. Typically what tends to happen in dog parks is owners, maybe this is fair, switch off a little bit, the dogs go crazy. They're definitely not safe spaces for families with young kids, and they're often located in places that are not walkable. So you need to drive to get to those places, and they're not places for all dogs as well. And that's really my one-size-rarely-fits-all principle. The other principle that I want to emphasise here is I firmly believe, and I think it's fair, that as dog owners we need to be responsible. So we need to be responsible for how our dogs behave and interact with other dogs and with other people, and also stop them digging, pick up after them, etc. So that's a kind of principle that I think needs to be fundamentally adhered to by people that take the responsibility of owning a dog. So those are the principles that I think I would encourage council to consider when providing shared spaces for dogs and people. To be more specific, if I can go to the next slide, I'm encouraging council, and this was the subject of the petition also, to look at areas that might be able to be designated off-lead areas that are currently restricted as on-lead. An example of that would be the Woodland Road easement, a big open space that runs up through parts of Moonee Valley. There's no playground there, it's not really a recreational space for people. It doesn't seem to me obvious why a space like that would be restricted and designated as a dog on lead area. In fact, it's being used, I shouldn't say too much, but it's being used by dogs off lead responsibly regularly as well. In addition to that, I think there's an opportunity here for council to trial some different ways that spaces could be used. Others do it, Yarra, Brimbank, there are all examples. Think of Edinburgh Gardens, who you probably visited before with your family, a large open space in the middle of the city of Yarra that has, in that case, the playground fenced, but other areas open, some designated dogs off-lead areas and others dogs restricted. So I'm pointing out there that there are different ways that this issue is tackled across different councils. Other councils take more of an approach of saying, you can have your dog off-lead, but it must be under effective control. So I'm just pointing there that there is a focus, there's different ways to manage this that could focus more on the responsibility of pet owners and working together with dog owners to be able to balance the needs of the limited space that we do have. One of the other suggested ideas that I've had for a place like Cliff Allison Park is, could we trial perhaps having times of the day where dogs could be off lead and times where dogs are restricted or restricted to being on lead to balance the needs of different users of those spaces. Next slide, please. I'm here just as a person that lives in Essendon. I think in the petition I had over 90 people who were just in my little local community who were responsible dog owners sort of raise concern about this issue, and I just want to point out that I think what I'm trying to get to here is a position of balance and reasonableness where the spaces that we have and love and rely on might be able to be better utilised and shared between those that have dogs and those that don't. So thank you for your time, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Sean. Councillors, do you have any clarifying questions or comments for our presenter tonight? Councillor Adams, your microphone works. There you go. Good.
Yes, I'm one of the lucky ones. Thanks, Sean, for your presentation and making the time to present. I know I've sort of said this to you offline, but as per a council resolution on the 10th of October 2023, officers will be providing a report to council in the near future regarding options for investigating and progressing changes to dog off-leash areas. And so that will be coming through to council soon for consideration. So, yeah, that will give you some sort of hope that it is being looked into.
Thanks,
Thank
Councillor.
you.
Any other councillor? Councillor Byrne?
Thanks, Sean, for that presentation. As I come from a family with a lot of Hungarian Vizslas, I absolutely know the idea of why you need to have places for your dogs to exercise. Just a quick one, because I'm represent Rosehill Ward, but I have been to the dog park, but I'm not as familiar with their easement. Is there a running trail through that easement? Do people generally run through it?
It's not formalised. I mean, it floods when it's wet, so I actually don't know the status of it. There's no formalised running trail that goes through there. It's just a big swathe of
We've got a few
land.
easements where we are that lots of people run up and down, so I just want to
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people using it for that purpose. It's used as a cut through.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. No, that's...
It's a nice spot to walk.
Definitely an interesting thought that, yes, definitely. Definitely a interesting idea that you bring up. But as Councillor Adams said, we'll be looking into various different options for our furry friends. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor.
Any other councillor? No? Well, thank you very much, Sean, for coming. Very much appreciate it.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks a lot. Ta. Councillors, this pretty much it's a close of our public forum. There is no one else in the gallery, so I'll conclude our public forum for tonight at 6:21. Thank you very much to all those watching via live streaming, and our next public forum will be in about a month. So see you then. Thanks very much.